Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for June 24th through the 30th, 2019. So let's take a moment to take a deep breath and to connect in with our inner being. And let's start by just seeing a beautiful light that is radiant and resplendent with your beautiful and awesome spirit. And just allow this light to just expand all around you and within you, and feel it activating your cells, your body, and allow it to go wherever there is tension, or send it to any thoughts of worry or concern. And the angels really want you right now to just let go of your judgment or criticisms. So they're showing me teeth and all kinds of disconfigured. So this is really crippling judgments or criticisms, possibly ways in which we condemn ourselves over the least little thing, when our expectations are too high for reality. And so when we can't reach those, then we take it out on ourselves. And this can become something that becomes harmful to you, becomes harmful to your body, since the only thing that your mind can attack when you're directing everything towards yourself is your physical body. However, they want you to know that you're safe, but they want you to be aware of what this creates for you. And Archangel Raphael is coming through, and just allow him for a moment to place his hands on your shoulder. I feel like he's standing behind you, and let him place his hands on your shoulder and just relax and breathe. And what he wants you to do is just to let everything, all the energy, just let it flow out through your feet. And he's going to be sending through the emerald green light through your body. He's doing this to help you ground and to help you also love yourself. So he's sending you lots of love. And he keeps writing the word signs. So you'll receive some signs to help you in a situation, to help remind you to love yourself. And there may be some significant changes that come up for you in this week. And let's not always think about change as something as dramatic as, a loved one moving on in some way, or your job changing. This could be as simple as something shifting within you, and that you are ready to turn in a new direction, or your faith changes, or you have new hope. These are just as important as any form of change, and there are a vast number of changes that are possible and available to us all the time. I feel like he also wants to wrap his hands around you and place them on your forehead so you're still in his embrace. And I think he wants to help you clear your third eye. And he wants you just to breathe while all of this is occurring. And he's sending love. So as you breathe in the love that Archangel Raphael is sending into your third eye, and breathe out whatever symptoms that feel like confusion or fogginess in the brain, any of this, or worry. Just breathe that out and breathe in this love, this emerald light of love. And he wants to help you to shift your perspective and help you to perceive from a higher consciousness, to recognize truth and to recognize the great light. But I feel like we if there was a difference between truth as being this brilliant light and other things, I'm just going to leave it like that for now, just other things, that he would want you to now help you with this, and this healing is to help you to notice where the light shines brightest, and not to worry about anything that's less than that, but to always just keep choosing the brightest light. It could be a person, there could be a whole bunch of people in a room, but choose the people who are resonating at that frequency of the brightest light, the brightest joy, or a job, or an opportunity. Okay? And so right now, this is a change that you can make up your mind to choose. And this will add immensely to your overall experience in your life. Because when something doesn't serve you, it doesn't feel good to you, it makes you feel vulnerable, and you start doubting yourself and questioning yourself and eventually criticizing yourself and blaming yourself and so on and so on and so on. And this is, sometimes we can't see it. We think we need to wrestle with these kinds of things. We feel like we have to wrestle in the shadows. But the only thing worth having is that which is radiating this brilliant light. And sometimes we resist that because maybe it's not as fancy as we thought, as for lack of a better word. But there are sometimes that a thing that is perfect for us is not what we recognize, because we have these other things in our head that we believe is representative of that. And then quite often those things aren't as we get into it. And it actually increases the drama that we are already experiencing all on our own, right? So this is something for us to really take a look at. And you may say to yourself, well, how can I tell if, and I'm asking that question right now myself, how can you tell when something is brightly lit. Now, it's interesting, they're writing the word salary, and I don't think this is the answer. But I think what they're showing us is that there are things that we focus on, like salary, and we get caught up in that, and we use that as a comparison. And it's not to say that this isn't something that you should not look at, because of the world that we live in and how it's set up. But you may want to consider everything else around it. Just don't get stuck right at that point. I'm not sure if they could tell us, because our ego puts so much in front of us to distract us that it's more about not allowing these things to get in the way. As a practice, we'd have to practice that first in order to be able to just be able to recognize more clearly what that lighting up would actually be like for us. But it's sort of simple things like the writing laughter, joy, pleasure. These things are the things that raise our vibration. That's what would be akin to what that sort of brilliant light truth would be. You would feel a conviction within your soul about it. And that conviction would be full of motivation, inspiration, and passion, and compassion as well. It's a good thing when we get that feeling of conviction. It's not often that we do, especially for something, a new choice or a new opportunity. But if you ever really form a conviction about something, don't let it go, because I feel like those really come from your soul. And I'm not talking about the kinds of, yes, we can have convictions about a lot of things, and that probably aren't pretty. But again, if those things would not make you feel good because you feel like you're fighting against something, and whether you'd feel like you're fighting yourself, because I'm not talking about somebody else telling you that you should do this and you are adamant about it, that's not for you. I'm talking about an opportunity is put before you, or that you have this conviction, and all of a sudden a purpose grows out of that, and then the opportunities, and it just kind of lights your way. It becomes like this flashlight once you this conviction. So you could have all of a sudden occur to you a shift that creates a conviction, and then just sort of that conviction begins to highlight a purpose, and then next opportunities, or the right people, the right jobs. And what you have to trust is, if it's a great salary, but then you want to pay attention to how strong is that conviction. Is that conviction remaining strong? Is it growing in its strength, or is it softening or weakening? And is it because the salary is a distraction if it's weakening? If it's not, then the salary is perfect for this. But this is just an example. It could be many other things that we tend to grow attached to, or certain comforts that we like certain comforts that we like that actually weaken our convictions. So that's something for you to think about. Whether you're these comforts that you desire, that you like to have, do they weaken or do they strengthen your conviction? And that is one way to differentiate between what is that brilliant light and what else is just in the shadows, so to speak. All right, so let's take a look at the Archangel card for the week. And I've been a bit under the weather myself this week, so just developed some kind of virus, and it's been crazy. So I hope I'm coherent to some point. Let's take a look here and see. All right, so the Archangel Uriel, and everybody knows that this card, when it comes up, is like, you know what to do, Archangel Uriel says, as he has that little smile on his face. And it's like when you come to somebody for an answer, and they turn right back around and say, you've got it. You know what you're doing. And you're like, but I don't. That's why I'm coming to you right now. I really want your help. And maybe part of this week is you wanting, to turn to someone or to turn to others to look for some kind of approval or to give you the nod or maybe to give you an answer or to confirm an answer. But this is something that you're going to have to do on your own. This is a decision, a choice that you're going to have to make. And you're going to have to make it from the convictions that you have. You have to trust your soul's convictions. And it feels like this week that, I think even in my meditation today, I kept just seeing soul. So something where your soul is strengthening in terms of the guidance and the direction that it's offering you. And maybe we should say that another way, since your soul never is diminished in its strength. But there are times when we are a little less resistant to the strength of our soul. And so maybe there's something that has caused you, and I hate to put it this way, and I don't want to alarm you, but I keep getting this feeling it's like something you go through that just puts life into perspective. That's what I really feel like is going to happen. Something is going to happen this week that's just going to put life in perspective for you. It's going to be like a little wake-up call, a very strong sign. There are lots of things that can do that. And none as big as probably, again, I'm not trying to alarm you, but just to give you a sense of the magnitude of this kind of shift. Say something happens where someone passes, or this kind of shifts us. This kind of is jarring. It just throws us off our game, so to speak. And that game is usually we're just not listening to our soul. We're not in alignment, and we keep, pursuing in this path, and then something happens, and it just kind of causes us to go, oh my God, there are these really important things that I'm ignoring in my life, and that it's like, I got to wake up. I got to stop doing this. This isn't right for me. I need to take care of myself better. I need to take care of those I really love and that are important to me, and take care of the things that are really important to me. Pursue the things that are really important to me. And nobody else can tell you what that is but you, because it's a choice that you have to make. And you have to put into practice trusting your own convictions, that which is inspiring to you and motivating you, There's something you've been putting off, but this is something strong within you to do it, but you keep putting it off. Something keeps getting in the way. That thing we're talking about. Archangel Uriel's message says, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So this whole, what am I supposed to do? That's a delay tactic. You know what you're supposed to do. Usually when we start asking questions, it's because we hear the small answer, and that's what we don't like. Because we want the angels to just talk, and just give us, you want to just, here's the map. Start here, go there, and then go there, and there, and there, and there. And then there, and there, and there, and there. And you say, you think to yourself, now that I've found my purpose, all I got to do is just follow this. I don't have to think. I don't have to create anymore. It's all planned out. It's all worked out. That's what God is here for. Really? Doesn't sound like much fun. And I don't think God I think God wants to have fun too. I think God wants us to have fun. And it's like, he has that fun through us. The joy is like a parent watching you. I was thinking about it this morning. My mom, when she would, every now and then you catch a parent staring at you and they're just smiling. And you realize, because actually I had a dream where I was watching my mom being busy and our church where I grew up, and for some reason she was teaching Sunday school, which I don't think she did. But the point was, I was watching her, and I was proud of her, and I was smiling, and it made me think about that. And I think that's how God, that's why He gave us free will. That's why He gave us this life, and then not to control us and to map it all out for us, but to watch you grow, to watch you choose, to watch your choices, not to judge your choices, but to delight in the choices that you make. And He knows that you're going to make mistakes. That just delights Him just as much. Because if you've ever seen a child make a mistake, it's like they're so dumbfounded when the thing, doesn't go the way they expected it to. Like, huh? And it's the same kind of joy that God gets out of all of it. Now, the thing is that, we see ourselves as these adults, and that we do these, some adults do some really heinous things. And you say, but God can only but be angry at that. Well, that's you and me, because that's how the judge within us, which God doesn't have, perceives those things. We make it out to be something. We stop seeing the light that's within that person. We stop seeing the spiritual light, and we only see this monster, this darkness. And I don't like using that word, because I don't really like to think of that word as being in the negative connotation. But this is what our ego has created for us. So I say that when I say these things, that's the relationship that our ego has with certain things. Where with God would never have that concept of dark as being evil, or evil as being dark, or evil as being evil. So, yeah, just know that God watches, is just delights in every choice. He's just watching and taking great joy and delight in the choices that you make, and how you process and how you work it out, and how you draw upon the strength and wisdom of your soul. Because when you reach inside of yourself, each time you draw upon the powers of God that He's given to each one of us, And these are the tools that we play with, so to speak. And sometimes we don't use them to do the best of things. There are people who don't use them to do the best of things, of course. But they're still tools of power, divine power. And that is why in this universe it's not God's judgment, but it is the natural laws, because God put into place laws that would allow us to learn from the ways that we use these tools. If we use the tools in a way that's a form of resistance, then we get resistant type like consequences. So, all right, let's take a look at the cards for the first part of the week. And again, we're using the Guardian Angel Tarot. Let's see. Okay, so this is the Temperance card traditionally, and it's titled A Win-Win Solution. And so you see two older gentlemen sitting on a wall there. And the idea here in this card is finding I would think of them as two people who've lived a very long time, and each of their stories are probably vastly different, but each one of their stories is also equally important. And you got to recognize this when you're dealing with people in your lives. Their experiences are probably vastly different, but equally important. And that means that we have to take those things into consideration, and then make the best choices for yourself and for everyone else. And so it would seem as though that you are going to be, and it's interesting because there are lots of birds about in this card, and there's a gentleman here in the background, and he's kind of sky watching, so to speak. So the birds just gives you a sense of, heaven and angels, messages around you. So the thing is that here is that other piece that's involved here. You have your own experiences, but there's also this higher knowledge, this higher wisdom that you also have to take into the process. And so in this case, you may call it, seeking out the highest good. What's in the best interest of everyone? Getting just beyond the self and looking at what's best for everyone involved. And this is what I think the win-win solution really is when you do what's best for everyone. You don't sacrifice yourself, but you do what's best for everyone. That includes you. So this may be a tough decision for you to think about. And it may mean that the best decision for everyone is if you continue separately on your journey, or you continue doing what you're doing, but maybe you shift or change position or how you continue to do that. Okay? The thing is, don't let this important decision overwhelm you. Don't feel like you have to do things a certain way. Don't try to meet expectations. Don't seek approval from others. But just do what's right for you. This is the easy decision. This seems complicated in the way I'm saying it, but it's easier if you're really listening to what I'm saying. Because they keep writing easy. This is actually really easy. But again, we get distracted by some of the comforts that we like, the thing is does it weaken or strengthen your conviction? And the highest good will strengthen your conviction. And that's why it's so easy. Don't worry about if you don't like certain aspects of it, meaning it's because, and I'm talking about things because there's something you wanted. It's like a comfort. But to me, it feels like it's weakening your conviction, not strengthening it. And if you try to get that, it's going to weaken your conviction, and it'll seem like a very difficult thing. It'll feel like a very difficult and regretful compromise. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. Okay, we have the Two of Action, which is the Two of Wands. Okay, and then look at this card here. The message is saying, trust in your ability to make excellent choices. This card is usually about, you can see this person who's looking at the world, and he's sitting, standing on the edge of his domain, and he's looking at the world, and it's about, from where I am right now and all that's out there, from point A to point B, there's a lot for me to choose from. I'm here, and now wherever I am, everything out there is a choice, and I just need to make one, just one out of the multitude of choices that are available to me. Often we don't see that we even have that many, and that's really debilitating. It actually does mean that you're in a debilitated spiritual state, because only the ego could reveal such limitation to you. And that's hard when you're in a place like that. I've been there. And I still go through that. But you have to find ways to, it's usually because you've compromised your conviction. You've weakened your conviction. And that's sort of the result. When you weaken your conviction, you feel so limited. So you have choices that that are available to you, and this is more about, the wands are about enterprise, about spirituality, creativity, but this is about some kind of enterprise or adventure or new level of changes in your life. You have choice. And once you make that choice, don't wait for certain things to fall into place. Make the choice. And then, once you make the choice, the other steps following it will light up for you. But don't let your convictions be weakened by trying to hold on to things that are no longer serving you. Okay, here we have the Guardian of Abundance. So this would be the King of Pentacles here. Okay, and so this is a card letting you know that you have an opportunity to be successful, to really feel like you're in control of your life. So maybe this is a choice. This conviction will give you this sense of like feeling like you have ownership of many other things to come. Like, that you'll be able to acquire other things that you've wanted. It'll give you more advantages in this way. So there's something here where once you make that choice from your conviction, that this choice, this right choice, the choice that lights up for you, will just give you more comforts than the ones you're already so attached to. So you're not losing, but you're gaining. You're not, you're getting, but you're, it's something different. It's something better. And it's time for you to kind of be aware of new possibilities and new experiences. Okay, so this card says this is a great time, a time of great success for you. All your plans are blessed and will move forward perfectly. Unexpected job opportunities arise in the near future. Make sure to accept them. This card indicates that someone with an amazing career is involved in the situation. This is a powerful person with great integrity who enjoys hard work. This person could be you. All right. So, So the court cards will either represent you and the kind of personality trait or characteristics that you need to take on, or it could represent someone else. So, for instance, and I saw my friend who is applying for a job. I've seen her name this week, and this could be that she is, she's going to get a new employer, and that she's going to get this job with a new employer. So in that way, it could be that there's someone who's going to offer you an opportunity, someone who comes into your life like this guardian of abundance, who offers you some kind of opportunity. Now, opportunities can be many things. Whatever fits your needs and your choices is an opportunity. And I know we're always focused on money and making sure we have a job, the right job for security. But there are other things outside of those things. And it's probably one of the reasons why we're blind to them. And so we need to kind of take our minds off of that and not let it make us narrow-minded, so that we don't know all the other blessings that the universe places in front of us. So let's say when your money's low, but the universe may place another blessing, but you don't recognize that because your money's low. And you keep doing that over and over again. They keep sending another blessing, but you don't recognize because your money. But if you were able to recognize other blessings, when your money's low, that other blessing would shift your vibration and then help you to receive the money you're looking for. So it's that kind of thing. We need to be broader minded about what abundance is. And that may be an attitude that we need to take on. All right. And here we have what is traditionally known as the judgment card, which here is called review and contemplation. So this gives us a sense that there's going to be a lot for us to think about in this week. And since we're talking about that word judgment, how we criticize ourselves, and that the underlying message for this week is that we've got to recognize when we're being too hard on ourselves because it doesn't feel good, and we start going into these negative thoughts. And again, they're showing me immune system. These things can, be harsh on your immune system. Okay, and so when you catch yourself doing this, stop and try to find a different way to look at the situation. Try to find other ways. Try to find other opportunities, other things to focus upon that inspire you a little bit or give you a little bit of hope. And just keep nudging yourself in that direction until you feel better. Let's say that for now. All right. And this card says you've accomplished a great deal in your life and you have much to be proud of. Now it's time to decide what's next. As you contemplate the past and the present, you'll get clear on your divine purpose. Don't be distracted by conventional thinking. Be the real you. So again, there's that word distracted. and conventional. I think that we keep looking at things in the same way, that we keep looking for the same things, the same ideas of success, the same ideas of happiness, same ideas of love. And we need to be thinking about what really suits us. What is it that how do we really truly wish to express ourselves, our desires, and what is authentically me is what at the highest version of myself. All right, so I send you love and lots of light. This week I probably will not be doing the daily cart messages because I have performances this week, and I just caught this virus, and I'm hoping that I will be able to perform because there's no backup and for me. So I'm going to try to rest as much as possible, and I think it's every day except for one day I'm going. So send me lots of prayers, and I will return the following week. I'll let you know how I feel the following week, and when I do the next video. So if you're looking for an angel reading, you can still go ahead and contact me, theangelschool.com, and I'll probably start like around July 8th that week. And with those, if you want to go ahead and put those in and get an appointment, then that'll be great. Also, let's see, what else is there? I guess there isn't anything else, since I won't be doing the daily card messages. But if you haven't gone to my Facebook page, you can find that description link below, as well as my website for the angel readings. And there's plenty of information there that I'm sure you could just pick a card or pick a day and read and find something that can support you. All right, so have a beautiful week, everyone, and God bless you all.